Welcome back. It's me, Autumn Moon.
And me, teen pop sensation Ariana Grindr.
And you're listening to
Glamazon Prime.
And that's your own.
Jizness.
Very much.
A wise woman once said. And come here to me. You were a very busy woman last week.
The Wuddles.
She was at the War of the Worlds.
I was reefing and stringing the aliens around. I was late, so that wouldn't be like me. I was only 10 minutes late. That's not bad for me.
I didn't miss the start of it.
The very, very start of it. Yeah.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
No, it didn't fucking surprise me either. Oh, so what happened was we were all driving in because public transport was just a fucking nightmare to get down there. And there was a big gang of us. So what the plan was we were going to drive in, park in town, and then Lewis it down or something like that, right? Anyway, we were getting close to.
I love a park and ride. That's my own business.
He was going digging into car parks. But we were getting close to the car park, and I could see on the thing it was like 200 metres away, and I needed to use the bathroom, and we were going past a hotel.
Yeah,
a very nice hotel. So I goes, I'll jump out and I'll just walk around the corner and meet.
I would have told you to piss yourself. I'm not listening to start.
No, they had to go in and park and all that and do all that jazz. And I was like, I'll wait outside, and when he's come out,
Miss Piss.
Miss Piss. I had to go in. I had to go in and shoot a quick pissing video.
She has to go in and shoot pissing videos.
I had the room booked. The lights were set up.
And this is where we filmed the pissing videos.
So, Dr. Hibbert. So, anyway, grand. So I come out after doing the pissing videos, and I just opened my phone, and the text just said the car park is closed, so we're gone. So they were just gone.
Nice.
So I was just standing outside the hotel, and I was just like, just left. And people just abandoned me. Left,
people always just left you your entire life.
Yeah, I think that explains a lot.
That's
so I had to get a taxi on my own down. But thanks be to God for the pissing videos, because I was only 10 minutes late. The other two who I was in the car with, shout out to Tyler and his friend Ronan, friends of the pod, they ended up being like basically missing nearly the first half. They missed like a good half an hour, 25 minutes. And I was sitting beside Kathy and I was like, thanks be to fuck for my tiny bladder this time, because I saw so much more of the show, and the first half was great. I saw the big alien fucking thing coming down, the big, what did he call it, tripod? And Liam Neeson was there. Miss Neeson, yeah. It was hologram Tina. Okay. It was very like, do you know when his ghost comes back in Star Wars?
Very much.
It was basically that. Basically his ghost.
That and his tripod. Could you see his tripod?
God. Oh well.
His third leg, his middle leg.
The Liam Neeson lore.
His level. I'll be told that on the pod, didn't we?
How did we talk about Liam Neeson's genitals twice? We're only after starting the fuck.
That's his own business. But apparently, for those who haven't heard that episode, to make a long story painful,
very long one apparently.
Listen, happy fucking Christmas. I worked in a Domino's Pizza when I was 16 years of age, and someone goes to me, here, get them Liam Neeson's off the shelf. And I'm like, what? She's like, oh, the medium pizza boxes. And I'm like, why do you call them Liam Neeson's? And she goes, because Liam Neeson is also 11.5 inches. And that's how I found out Liam Neeson has an 11.5 inch Mickey.
I just heard the discourse on the internet around Liam Neeson's third leg.
It's very much his tripod.
It's
tripod live in the tree arena.
Right, and there's more to the story.
Oh, come on, Laura.
She's a thrifty, crafty queen, right? Yeah. So they were doing this thing now. I have to say it was actually very done. It was actually very done well. It was like flames and lasers and like fucking exploding. But then they had all these like little fake leaves falling down from the sky, and I was like to Kathy, when we get up, grab a load of them grab a load of fake leaves, because I have a green wig, and I was like, I'm gonna like glue a load of leaves in it. Like, Mother Nature at the gig
from Moana.
The very much, or like something cute. Anyway, I was like thinking about, okay, grab them when I get up. Anyway, they were fucking crap paper.
Oh, we were snapping.
Yeah, and Kathy was like, don't worry, we'll find plastic leaves online. Something new. And then I was sitting there and I literally had a moment of, do you ever like, I don't even know what the feeling is, but do you ever be watching something or something and for a second you think you're in it, for like just a very split second?
Were you on
drugs? No. There was this fella, right? And when I say, I literally turned my head and Kathy was like, he looked like if a celebrity was doing me on SNL, right?
Doing it on
he was
SNL?
the videos. That's why I had to go into the hotel. But he came out, right, and he had this long, curly, blonde hair, same length as mine, same fucking curl and all that. He looked like me a bit, and then he had like the exact same beard and everything. And he was going around being very dramatic and singing and all, and I was like, that's fucking gas. And when we got up then at the intermission to go to the get yourself a little bevy or whatever.
What did you do?
This couple were sitting in front of me, and your man turns around and goes, he's a fucking image of you. Who I didn't know.
Did you feel vindicated?
Yeah, I was like, yeah, fucking no, I'm not just delusional. And then the girl goes to me, you're doing great. It was great. I laughed about Tig, who went with me, who was fucking 35 minutes late, knows that soundtrack inside out and backwards. So I goes,
really?
come here, let me know when the last song starts. I'll watch a bit of that and then I'll leg it. Because no way when you're getting out, you're trying to get the Lewis there.
Yeah.
Tuna City, Sardine Central.
Very much.
So I said, I'll just miss the last few and then I'll be grand. So I did that anyway. And I flew down and I met you and Miss Laws, friends of the pod, afterwards. But yeah, I'd say it was very good. I like Miss War of the Worlds.
Okay. Miss Pinocchio. Miss Liar.
Well, I have had time to reflect. I know what you're going to say.
Yeah, because when you met me after my show, so basically, shout out my drag daughter Jack Swift, a deep friend of the pod. So she filled in, Jack filled in for Queen Autumn Moon on Sundays in Panty Bar and helped me make the popcorn. We had a lovely day, and then afterwards you came to download me on what happened at the show, and you were seeing red. You came in like a demon. You came in like a wrecking ball, and you were like, that was shite. That was the worst thing I've ever seen. That was a flop Tina, flop city, flopzilla. I'm so
maybe I was just in the height of it that night.
Maybe you were, because you fucking hated it, and now you love it.
Well, no, maybe love.
So what's the truth?
Love is strong. Love is strong. I think that it was very good spectacle-wise. Okay. They added in a few new numbers that aren't on the original album that were a bit flopperella.
Okay.
It could have. There was areas for improvement.
Could it have
been? But I
was
was being harsh on the night. I was being harsh.
It could have been as well because you were probably more stressed being late
and running and yeah.
You missed the start. You missed the end. And speaking of Miss Liam Neeson's massive schlong, did I ever tell you about my Naked Attraction audition?
No.
So.
For fuck's sake, is there anything you haven't auditioned for?
Well, that's my own business. I'm a woman in business. So basically, I'm a grafter, but that's my own business. I do be Ariana grinding away. So basically, for those who aren't familiar, the Naked Attraction is like a reality like matchmaking program where people pick each other based on their naked genitals. So they're like standing there, bollock and tit, vagina, fanny flap naked, and on the telly being like, oh, whatever, and they basically like select their
Grindr for straight people.
Very much. And I got a message on Facebook a few years back, and it was a woman I did. Remember I did that show 4 years ago, Stage School.
Stage School, yeah.
Stage School friend pod. Years ago, there was a woman who was actually like, she was a teacher in school, so she was actually a character on the show with me. But she now works in casting, and she messaged me on Facebook randomly. Basically, randomly out of the blue, she was just like, "Hi, love. I'm just wondering, are you single?" And then we think she's going to set me up with a friend or something. I was just like, yeah, why? She's like, I'm actually casting for Naked Attraction. Would you be interested? And I was like, no! But I was at the same time, obviously, I didn't say that. Because obviously she's working in casting and I didn't want to upset her. So just in case it's like something else she thought
really go with the brand.
But you know what? But like, not even that. Like, I just thought maybe...
Mickey's out there forever for everyone.
But you know what I mean? That's my own business. But like, that's my own business. But I just thought maybe she'll have something else in the meantime. I just didn't want to dirty the waters and be like, how dare you? I didn't want to clutch my pearls and be like, oh my god, why would you think of me to do this? I was just like, you know what? Because I was like, you know what, something else.
In a weird way, I suppose it's a compliment that she taught you for it.
Do you know, I suppose in a weird way, yeah.
A creepy kind of compliment.
But at the same time, I was like, you know what, she might think of me for something else in the future. Because she was also casting a few other programs that I really wanted to get on. More on that later. But anyway, that's my own business. So I was just like, you know what, thank you so much. I actually won't be available to do this on this occasion. But if you think of anything else for me, maybe I could do that. So that was the end of my my flop.
That would have been so funny.
On the flop,
Naked Attraction.
Naked Attraction. Could you imagine me and me knacking colon all out with my bits and bobs out on the Naked Attraction? Like, fair enough, your bits and bobs out for everyone to see, but like, if you're rejection.
Me and my RSD could never.
And I could never do first dates because I prefer to be rejected in the privacy of my own home and on the apps. Like, in the privacy of my own sanctity, reject me there, mama. And it's difficult enough then for everyone to see on the television, but to not only see that, but to see your Mickey while you're getting rejected.
I wouldn't even do first fucking dates.
I wouldn't. I definitely wouldn't. But much. I definitely wouldn't do fucking the Naked Attraction, Fatal Attraction. I'd sooner do Fatal Attraction. Let's have that conversation.
Maybe you were being like groomed and she was like, yeah, just send me an audition tape there. Just stand in front of the camera with Johnny Keane. I'll let you know if you get a song.
No. Well, career to be you know all about that. Okay, groomer, you're the groomer here.
The dog groomer.
Nice. Wait.
So what was the last show you saw on the True Arena?
The last show was Please, Please, Please Don't Eat My Ass. was Sabrina Carpenter, and I went as Subpoena Carpenter. And then before that was probably Olivia Rodrigo. I went with my sisters both times.
The last time I was in the Tree Arena was all your fault. No, you gave me free tickets for something. Do you remember what it was?
I did. It was Girls Aloud.
I brought Lauren.
Something new. You brought in the camera. Yeah, so basically I got a message randomly on Instagram from people working undercover for basically the tour promoter, because what happened was the tickets went on sale and they sold out one night, which was the Saturday night that I went, but then they put a second date on sale, which was the Friday, the one before, but that didn't sell out. And obviously this was the opening night of the tour, so they wanted it to be like packed to the rafters. So they went out like willy-nilly online, making all these little burner accounts and stuff, and were like messaging people, basically giving them free tickets to the show to fill it up, but not being like, it didn't sell out, so can you please go? It was just like, hey, I can't. But it was clearly, when you looked at the profiles, it was people who worked for the tour promoter, couldn't go anymore. My girl.
Right.
So straight away I was just like, I'll give them to you, because I was going on the Saturday anyway.
And I have to say, I knew a few of their songs. I was like, oh yeah, that'd be cute, something to do, especially with a fucking free ticket to a big Tree Arena show. And I was like, oh, like the content, like the girls. And then when I went, I think I sang every bar of the fucking show. I knew like every song, and I didn't realise how much of their songs were such a big part of me fucking life. I knew everything. And they were flying around on their little motorbikes up in the air and all. I was like, dude, it was a great show.
Very much.
It was fucking great. Yeah, so full of life. It was rolling out and out. It was great.
You had a little viral moment, didn't you? You had your
Shut up!
And the night I went, the very next night, you know the way they did, they were like on platforms with these big fucking inflatable dresses. Cheryl's one didn't inflate. She had a little flop Tina. I think it was Cheryl. It was one of them anyway. Yeah, she was on the block.
Great. It was a fucking great show.
She needed a little blue bomber. She needed to crush him with Viagra and do it as a lie. Oh, and then I tagged Cheryl in a video then, and she looked at it.
Oh my
She looked at me. No, she didn't like it. She didn't share it. She ignored me. But she
conversation.
saw it. She knows I exist. And did I ever tell you the secret to crying on Instagram?
Don't do it.
That's the secret. I'm so fucking sick of watching.
I think you might have told me that on this podcast, but
not really. Well, that's a real business. I'm so fucking sick and tired of influencers crying on Instagram, crying on TikTok, crying on the Reels, crying on Snapchat.
I'm just gonna cry.
Just don't
I'm gonna get one of them. What do you call it?
Tear sticks.
Tear sticks for,
I
the,
have
for
one
the
of
next
them.
pod. I'm just gonna.
I have one in my drag bag.
You have in your drag bag?
Yeah, I got one from Crying On.
Oh, no.
Crying On make them
cry along.
Cry along for crying along. But listen, that's their own business. Can't remember what I bought it for, but I have one for doing a scene.
For making a scene.
Absolutely, it would be like me to make a scene.
Did you ever see that clip of I think it was on that Queens Who Like to Watch. It was like The Circle or one of these dating shows. And your man's like, I'm just really devastated. And you go, can we go for another take? And he's like, yeah, I'm just so devastated. Just give me a second. And he takes out his little
eye drop.
And he's like, to make himself cry. And he's like, okay, take that out or whatever. And then they left it in.
So shady.
That's you to me on this fucking podcast.
The very much.
The second I get me tits out, he's like, leave it in.
But no, like, not to name names, but like Chris Olsen is a big, like, fucking like culprit of this, and I think, you know what, I'm supporting queers and queer media, and he's a big dirty right. That's his own business, and he has his fans and he has his niche or whatever. But part of his niche, he just cries all the time. Like
Chris Olsen, and to do with the twins.
I don't even fucking know. I think he's famous for being friends with he's what's her name? All about the bass. That Latina.
Megan Markle.
Yeah, Megan Thee Markle. Megan Thee. Shout out Megan Thee Markle, trainer.
Yeah.
Friend of the pod.
See, she'll pick her toe. That's gonna be real. Because your horse gonna borrow. Because she's all Zemtina. And everyone's like, I taught her all about bass.
What's wrong? No trouble. But no,
she's causing trouble. She's in an awful lot of trouble at the moment.
I find her so insufferable.
With the fat community. And as a member of the fat community, I have something to say.
You fucking tell them.
You weren't all about that bass, you lounge.
And you know what? She also hates women. Because... yeah, she hates women. She's self-hating.
Tell us how you really felt.
Yeah, no, so basically she released a cover of Britney Spears' Christmas song, Last Night I Took a Walk in the Snow.
Copying you.
Santa, can you hear me? And at the very same time...
Who did it first? Who were you?
Oh, no, I didn't do that one.
Oh, did you?
No, I did Trixie Mattel.
Oh.
And
did you not do Santa, can you hear me? Maybe you're just always singing it and I just associate.
Oh. That's an original.
This is going to be in a court
You're a
case
fake
one
fan.
year.
You're a fake
It's
fan.
going to be in a court case.
See that there's a door over there? Go on now, go. And come here to me. No, so she released a cover of Britney's song, and in the same breath went on like some radio or podcast show. She was interviewed dragging Britney as a songwriter. And I'm like, bitch, you're making money off her. You wish you had.
Yeah,
Britney Spears has
you
more-
admitted you couldn't write as good a Christmas song because you covered her one.
Like Britney Spears,
but then you're going to drag her. Or maybe that's, she was really talking about herself.
But Britney Spears has more talent in her foreskin, mama. Her
Yes.
foreskin than Miss Megan
The
Thee.
non-existent foreskin.
Yeah, Megan
You know
Thee.
I love Britney goes
What's her
full fucking
trainers.
full Wolverine mode and she's like dancing with knives on Instagram and I
Well,
love
listen,
it.
if I had Megan Thee fucking Markle coming from my songwriting while making money off of aforementioned songwriting, I might sling a few knives too.
Maybe they're like the
I might
Traveller
do it
call
too.
out videos, but that's like Britney's version of it. Do you know what I do love though?
What do you do?
I do love. Do you ever be on TikTok? Know the Traveller girls the cleaning videos?
Yeah. No, what's that?
The Traveller girls, so they'd be all different Traveller girls and they'd be in their houses and they'd be like, this is what I do, this is my so they'll make their own like bleach and this or this and that and this is and how they clean and they go around and wrapping stuff in plastic and
Sure.
they're it's like ASMR but it's like more okay if you haven't seen them, the Traveller girls cleaning TikToks are that fucking tea. I love them. And that's genuine.
God.
I fucking think they're great.
Oh, listen, I believe women. And on that note, my name is Team Pop Sensation, Ariana Grindr.
And I'm Autumn Moon.
And you've been listening and watching to a very special bonus episode, Tina, of
Glamazon Prime. Put your hand on the Bible.